Good morning to all traders and welcome to another Markets and Waves. Today is the 6th of August. An interesting close to the week. We might get some volatility. Now, whether it's going to be helping momentum to the upside or to the downside is not really certain yet, but it looks like to me, at least for the US index, and that might be the opposite case for everything else, that might be on the upside. However, I don't see that being quite a bit, and simply because we do see here that there is a 50 Fibo retracement that we didn't want to hold bulls under pressure. Apart from this, so I want to have a quick look on NASDAQ natural gas, Euro pound, as well as the Aussie against the Canadian dollar. So guys, as I was saying before, no signs on the MACD or RSI, which means volatility might remain elevated, and prices might also remain at these sort of levels over here. That looks like that's not the color I want. There we go. So with that, meaning that we're still in wave 4, in C of wave 4, looks like it, and we wouldn't want prices to move beyond the low of wave 1 over here, because if that happened, then it would reduce the probabilities of the move to continue lower down, not because it would invalidate it or anything, just because that we would prefer that move to be impulsive. But do not forget that it's not impossible that we see that turn into a leading diagonal. However, due to the structure, I'm not really thinking that that's going to be the case. Open leading diagonals are quite rare, I would say. So yeah, A, B, and looks like C. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and perhaps this is the last move to the upside before we'll continue lower down. But as I said before, we see no signals on the RSI MACD. We might remain a little bit here for longer. That might turn even out to be some sort of a triangle over here, something like that. Okay, we do not know. We're in a corrective mode, and corrections are a little hard to predict, especially when when volatility is high. So this is for the US index, guys. Now let's jump quickly on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is moving quite nicely up. That reminds a very nice triangle, but it doesn't belong to this particular correction, because as you well know, we're expecting minor wave 3 over here, of intermediate wave 3. Like we've done 1 and 2, 3 and 4. These two corrections look very nice in one particular degree, or in the same degree, let's say. So we've got 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then and 4 and a 5. I would be expecting, with, of course, the move, counting the minor wave 161 extension comes to the 16K, but that might be probably the end of the 5th. Yeah, so we are still got 3, 4 and 4 and then 5, but I'm looking at 3 anywhere between the 1574 and the 1555, perhaps even the 5th over here. But in that case, I would assume that it's going to be an ending diagonal. This is, by the way, the same length as wave 4. Okay, and I would expect, if that's the case, to be an ending diagonal, because my wave 1 is already quite big for wave 3, 4, and 5 to end as an impulse. It would just be a weird structure. It's not that it's impossible, it would just be a weird structure. And the other one we'll look at is equal to wave 1. Okay, so there are 3 waves to measure wave 5, guys. One is equal to wave 1. One is equal to wave 4, yeah, and the other one is we take the Fibonacci from 0 to 3 and down to 4, and we measure the 38.2, 61.8 Fibonacci extensions. So all those levels are important to watch. Now, MACD and RSI, not really much. A slight bearish divergence on both, but is likely to be invalidated with a move to fresh highs, which we keep seeing, by the way. So natural gas, I gave you that opportunity months ago, guys, and I was talking about the 4 and even higher for a while. We've had the 61.8 taken out over here, as you can see. Oops, excuse me, I clicked the wrong thing. 61.8 was done, and then we turn into a correction, very nice triangle, and looks like when I move higher up again, equal to wave 4 gets to 4.47. Yeah, the 200 Fibonacci extension of waves. Let me check which waves those are. This is 1 and 2. Okay, so we can clearly now with wave 4 in and 3 go up and do the 38.2 instead. Excuse me. Similar case with the NASDAQ, yeah? 38.2, 68.1, 61.8, sorry. So 30.2, 456, 61.8 at 496. You see that this is quite more impulsive and there's more momentum in this particular degree if you compare it to NASDAQ, obviously. But not that we'll compare for any reason. We're just doing just a random comparison to see that these two structures internally are different, and this is why the projection to the upside is of course different. In this case, natural gas more extended. Okay, all those levels are to be watched: 443, 456, 496, and let's grab wave 1 as well and see where wave 1 goes. What we're gonna do is just pretty much simple place that on top of the great breakout of level 4 and brings us to the 484. Okay, just start lower than the 61.8 Fibonacci extension. From that, guys, we're not done. Wave 3 is going to come in. This is probably 1 and 2. When I get 3, 4, and 5, that's going to be my 3, then the 4, and then the 5. So that could even be the end of the minor wave. Okay, so look at the internal structures, identify 5 waves, know when this is that when we can expect a correction. EURGBP, haven't looked for maybe a couple of weeks. If you recall, I was expecting, let's go a little bit out, wave 5 to come through. Yeah, we've got a clear 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this 4 is a very nice running flat. And now it looks like to me that we've done 1 and 2, and we're gonna go for 3, 4, and 5. 38.2 at 84 or so, it's possible. Okay, even lower, it's possible. So what we can do a similar method. 30.2, 83.57. Okay, you want wave 4, we'll measure from 3 up to 4, which is this one. It's not A. Okay, we'll go at the bottom. What does it get us? 82.61, even lower down. And what else do you want to do? You want to do wave 1. There we go, wave 1 as well. Oops, excuse me. Let's measure this. That brings us to the lowest, 80.66. Okay, so you can imagine that this can be a very good opportunity to the downside. However, do not forget that that might just be the end of it. A truncation, we only need to do 70% of the leg for truncation, okay? But it just doesn't look that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? This looks like it's part of a deeper impulse to the downside, or perhaps might even turn out to be some sort of ending diagonal, okay? Especially when we correct down to a cycle wave degree, we would expect something, you know, of interest to happen at this sort of potential reversal level. Noise against CAD, signals on the EURGBP, by the way, but likely to be broken fairly soon. Aussie CAD, I'm going to take you, let's just go on the daily, guys, because I want to show you what I'm looking here. I'm looking at wave C, yeah, ABC. My A is here, leading diagonal. My B is down here at, where was it, at 80, 69. And I expect wave C, and wave C I expect to be either an ABC, because our wave A is a leading diagonal, or and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For now, we are going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because this is a simple zigzag. In case that turns out an ABC, I wouldn't be surprised because leading diagonals can be part of ABCs or WX and Ys. Okay. Now, let's just look at here what we're expecting. It's a correction, perhaps down to the 61.8 of this leg to the upside. Yeah. So let me just go back now, since you know what I'm expecting, and look at this, guys. We've done wave A. We've done wave B, and I'm expecting wave C. AB Fibo extension, 161 brings us to 89.59. And then you've got to measure 1 and 2, okay? 1 and 2, 61 brings us to 91.18, 78 brings us to 90.37, and 100% to 89.26. All of them far from 61.8. I'm not saying we're going to get there, but it's very likely that we will, because my wave A over here, my wave B have remained inside this descending channel. So I'm going to be expecting another leg down over here. Okay. What else we can do, guys? And since, as you will see, that I'm expecting this to be an ending diagonal, it might be too early, but the structures bringing that scenario in mind, okay, because we've got an ABC or an ABC over here. Let's just check now, 2 and A and B, the 61, the 38, the 161, okay. Again, very likely to do the 100 over here for wave 3, then move up to 92, meet us over here with the channel again, and then 1, 2, 3, again to the 100, or even lower down, guys. If that, of course, ends up an ending diagonal, it's unlikely to see prices moving as low as they would move if we had an impulse move to the downside. And the impulse move to the downside is still in play, okay, because this can be seen as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, yeah, or an ABC as well. So guys, the signals on the AUDCAD are actually supporting a further continuation to the downside, especially if we take account that we've done the 61.8 over here exactly. Okay, so the golden ratio has been completed, and we're probably looking now at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 continuation to the downside. Thank you very much for watching. In case you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment, leave a comment on our YouTube section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, guys. Enjoy the trading session, trading safe, and enjoy your weekend.